Hello, I'm using an actual mic, so now I don't sound like I'm talking through a trash can. Let's just get started. I went back to my old assets and started deleting geometry that the player would never see, like these patio walls. The camera would never look into that building anyway, so why have them? With a lot of the assets made, I wanted to really start putting them down in the engine. I first blocked out the composition. I then started replacing the basic blocks with my assets and baked lighting. But I forgot to add the shadow map on the assets. So when I baked the lighting, I got these blotchy black spots. If you recall, I'm using one texture for a lot of the assets. To do that, I had to put UVs on top of each other. But UE4 is using that UV data for the shaders and the light baking. So UE4 is baking in both the lighter parts and the shaded parts of the object on top of each other, making those weird errors. I went back to Blender and made a separate UV map just for the shadow map. Then we imported them into UE4 and set the UV coordinate to my newly made shadow map. Then baked the lighting again. And huzzah! The baking errors are gone, but you can see some problems remain. To solve this, all I do is go back into the settings and up the shadow resolution. And now it's much better. With the baking errors gone, I took another look at what I had. I felt it was kind of boring and empty, but I played a bit of Cyberpunk 2077 recently, and I've learned a very valuable lesson. When in doubt, add pipes, vents, and more pipes, and more vents. And when all else fails, just put in some AC units and some neon signs. So I got to work. I found some air conditioners and vending machines and modeled very basic AC units. A lot of you are thinking, wow, that looks awful. And you'd be right. But it doesn't really matter because the camera isn't going to ever get this close anyway, and there's going to be so many that I need them to be low poly. But I did want the fans to move, so I found a fan texture and assigned it to part of the AC unit. In UE4, I used the same shader nodes to rotate the fan texture. And with that, I'm done. I've got my air conditioners, pipes, vents, and signs. And I also borrowed some assets from one of UE4's tech demos. I really love this showcase because a lot of these assets are way less graphically intense than you'd think they are, and it uses assets in some really smart ways. Like, look at that tree and rock. Wow, that must be pretty advanced. Oh no, it's not. But that room, that's gotta be all modeled. Oh no, it's not. It's just a texture. So, with my newly acquired assets, I filled in my city and baked the lighting. I'm not going to use this little city in the final game. I'm just using it to help me see what I should work on next. Like, although it's not barren anymore, now it's a little too busy. There's nothing the eye can focus on. I might have gone a little too far with the vents and pipes. I need more foliage to break up all the concrete. I should make more wall assets instead of just these cubes. And I realized my depth of field was way too high, so the player wouldn't even be able to see the background. It was just a blur. Well, that's all I got. Thanks for watching.